Hello and welcome to today's episode in which we conquer everything to do with the crypto Wild West. So we thought for today's AMA, we were going to have fun with it since we're Tangem and we love doing fun things for our community. So what we have planned today is we will run through a play on the popular spaghetti Western film, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. We're going to be doing a similar theme with our Conquering the Wild West of Crypto, The Good, the Bad and the Skeptics. So what we'll be doing is for the good, we'll run through the Q2 plan and what we will be releasing when. So updates, behind the scenes, sneak peeks, and everything that is fun to do with Tangem. In terms of the bad, we're going to be tackling things that we could be working on better. So really it is about being transparent with our wonderful community, making sure that there's that open communication channel between you and us. So finally, we will wrap up with the section on being skeptical. So a lot of you may have questions. We're here to answer them. And of course, this is the perfect time to have that moment. So if you have a question for us and you think that we can't answer it, yeah, probably this is the time to ask that question. So drop it through. We will be choosing 5 winners in total for today's session. And of course, David, our wonderful ambassador who will be joining us as today's guest, will assist with picking the winners. So if you have a question, drop it down and we will pick them at the very end. But if you do have to leave, we ask you that you don't. If you do have to leave, do not worry. I'll give instructions on how to receive your prize at the end. So I think that's it. Let's start today's session. We've got a lot of things planned. It's going to be very fun. Yeah, let's kick it off. Hi, David. How are you today? Give us an introduction about yourself.
Howdy, cowgirl. It's good to be here. Thank you very much for having me today. It's a really great pleasure. So my name is David. I'm sitting, as you may see it, in the United States. It's roughly the Wild Wild West still. I'm part of the great Tangem team for almost likely a year right now. And I have come to Tangem as a content creator on YouTube. So some of our teammates just sent me a request and said, hey, David, do you like to test our wallet? And I said, I like your wallet. Just bring it to me. And what I've done to our cards is shoot on it and really stress test it. And today I would like to be very, very patient with you and would love to give you with Anna today a very, very good overview about what we have done so far, what are our plans. And I would say I'm more than thankful and happy to be part of Tangem and also to be part of a new industry, a new technology, and a new way how we will develop the world in the future is stunning.
What a wonderful intro. I'm listening and I'm going, this is marvelous. It gives a perfect insight into like who you are, how you've come here, how passionate you are. So Guys, welcome, and gals, of course. So welcome, David. And I think I didn't mention beforehand, but since we are doing a very fun AMA for today's session, we're also going to be wearing cowboy hats. And David is also going to be in a saloon-style black and white film. So that is intentional. And we just love having fun with our community. So yeah, thank you so much. All right. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to start our wonderful little B-roll film, and then we're going to right through to our roadmap section, which we run through the good of what Tangem is building, and we can kind of go from there. All right, let's kick it off. Yay, we switched on everything in time. Okay, wonderful. Let's kick this off. Conquering the Wild West of crypto with Tangem. Let's get going. Roadmap for Q2. Q2 covers April, May, and June. This by no means is an exhaustive list. We will be doing more things than just what we have announced here, but it's of course just, we're giving you a sneak peek into what we are building and what we are creating for our community. So one thing at a time, let's run through these slides. Okay, David, take it away.
Yes, ma'am. I'm all for it. And I really need to say, ladies and gentlemen, we're really, really happy because in this AMA, we have covered a lot of topics. So I can really recommend you, I need to advise you, just stay until the very end. We also got some presents, don't we, Anna?
Yes, we do. We have 5 pieces of merch. This will be at your discretion. If you are a winner, reach out. I'll give instructions later. But you can reach out to me and I'll give you information in terms of how to collect your merch. So your challenge for today is to ask us all of the difficult questions that you have had in your minds about Tangem. We've got 2 very dedicated, very passionate users who love Tangem. So we will try to help answer those questions. And if not, drop them into community channels, into Discord, Reddit, Telegram, you name it, we will cover it and we can go from there. But for now, we're just going to start with Tangem Express for now and just kind of take it from there. David.
So Tangem Express, what is Tangem Express? Most likely that is really one of the most important and most used items on our wallet. I mean, what is the best way to swap your assets? Either way, if you're doing a cross-chain swap or just an in-chain swap on the same network. Yes, you're gonna normally have to leave your assets. Your asset needs to leave the wallet. You need to send it to an exchange, swap it there, etc., etc. So you got a lot of topics that are very unsure, putting in the right address, etc., etc. So what we thought as Tangem, the best way to give our users the best experience and the seamless possibility to swap the assets is to implement an aggregator service directly into our app. And that is what we did, what our amazing developers did. So we have the option of having decentralized exchanges and also centralized exchanges as an aggregator implemented on our app. And I would love to give you a small heads up, a small example how that works actually. So let me switch my camera. Oh, that was wrong. Let me switch my camera to show you a little bit. So this here, I hope you can see that pretty good. This is my smartphone. And what I would like to do, I would love to switch the USDT that I got here right now to my Bitcoin wallet. And I mean, some of you know that card already. So it's one of our very first cards, what I really challenged a lot. So we shot on it, we drilled through it, we burned with the torch, we ran it over with the forklift, and this is still working. I would like to show you the proof today. So what we're going to do with our cross-chain swap opportunity here is we're going to select our USDT on Tron network. We go to swap, and I would love to swap 200 USDT directly to, let's say, Bitcoin. Here are my Bitcoin. And as you can see right now, Tangem is selecting the right network, the right aggregator. We have right now change now, changely, and also 1inch. So for example, because this is a cross-chain swap, 1inch is not possible, but we select for you the best option to have the least amount of fees. So we stick with that. And what we're going to do is we go to swap. So here comes a really great safety feature. He asked for my face. I'm going to approve that. And now you can see my card and it's still working. I'm gonna tap my card to my phone. Okay, this is when it's live.
We did a plan for this beforehand and it was working completely fine. I was like, okay, let's do this.
No, we're perfectly fine.
Let's do
we
this
go
again.
ahead here. Yeah, we go ahead here. And we do the same to Bitcoin. And
By the way, you're doing this upside down. So of course it's hard when you have the
I
phone
know,
upside
I
down.
know. That's a pretty good excuse, and thank you for that, Anna.
But it's the
Really
truth.
appreciate it. Okay, so we go swap, and he asked me again for my face. So you can see we have a two-factor authentication. He's asking for the face, and he's asking again for my card. And now it's working. Okay. So here you can see I got multiple cards. I got a lot of different accounts, and you can see right now that he's working on that. So if I'm gonna take a look right now to my USDT, I can see that he's working on that. So let me hold off a little bit, and this typically takes roughly around, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes maximum. So allow us to proceed that a little bit, and once we have that done, I will show that later. But I think most likely you understand that doing a cross-chain swap on Tangem is very, very simple. Another really cool feature what we implement in the next week, so let me say in the next month, is having OKX as a DEX also implemented on our cross-chain swap. What's very, very important, we're planning for that right now in Q2, and this is really the next milestone because we can have a much wider range of assets what we can swap to make it really sure that we have the best solution for our users. We also track and we monitor what our users are asking by our social media channels to make sure that we really fulfill your ideas and your wishes with all the changing options. So most likely also you're asking for additional exchanges or additional pairs. So this has also been tracked by us. And like I said, we would love to serve our community the very, very best. So if you have any wishes, what pairs we're going to need to implement in our cross-chain swap opportunity, feel free to reach out to us either way, by email, by Telegram, by Discord, and everywhere else where you can probably find us. I also maybe need to announce we also have a lot of Telegram channels right now that we have online to make sure that you can give us your feedback, and also in terms of questions, feel free to reach out regarding that. The very, very important topic for us as well is off and on ramping from fiat. The majority of the people really don't like to do non-KYC, what we can really understand, because we as Tangem take privacy very, very seriously. So therefore, we make sure that in the next weeks and months, we also implement additional on-ramp services, like we had it already with, I think it was Mercury, what we used. But in the future, we also have additional partners coming live that makes sure that smaller amounts, and we're not talking about big amounts, can also get on and off ramped with no KYC. And I think, Anna, that is most likely everything for that part, isn't
I
it?
think that's it. The most important thing to mention is that, of course, we're making Tangem Express a priority for Q2, of course. And because we have analyzed the data, we want to understand our users more. And they have given us feedback that decentralized options are the priority for them. So we will be keeping that in mind and providing more of those decentralized options for our users. Full announcements, of course, when they are available. This is a roadmap, not a formal press release announcement, but we are keeping in mind that that is one of the top priorities that people really do want. So we will be developing that with our users in mind. Okay, running through, guys, you will be seeing my cursor. There's nothing I can be doing about it. So let's run through. New app features. We've got a lot of fun little sneak peeks for you, actually. So a couple of these, I've named them as 5.9 release. I don't know if I've mentioned before, but the 5.9 release is coming in the next couple of days. This is now pending approval from the Google and Apple Play stores. So it might be live in the next 5 minutes. It might be live in the next couple of days. So in the next release, we'll be releasing a couple of these features. So this is what we generally have for Q2, multi-accounts, markets, detailed information, additional in-app language support, push notifications. Definitely what is coming in 5.9 is the 24 seed phrase and passphrase support. And of course, we are working on the sends screen redesign. So for multi-accounts, just to clarify what that is, it's the ability to have multiple addresses for each asset. So right now it is a static one address per asset. And we have heard our users and they do want to have more than just one address per asset. Of course, we'll be bringing that on board. And then in terms of push notifications, we'll be bringing those to aid you in understanding more about Tangem and how everything works. So it's not going to be showing the comings and goings of your assets. A couple of users have asked, why do we not have notifications right now? The truth is that we do not monitor your transactions as a decentralized cold wallet solution. Therefore, we cannot give you that ping that a centralized exchange might do, something like the transfer set and so on. But we will be introducing push notifications for things that we can track, not that we can track, but it's for the things that are able to be tracked. And those things will be available to you to just have more information about Tangem and things that are important to our users. In terms of additional language support, that is coming. And in the next couple of days, 5.9, 24 seed phrase support and passphrase support. There's been a couple of questions in terms of what that will look like. We have an article being released at the time of this release, which will show you compatibility and how that will work in terms of imports and so on. So full information will be available a little bit sooner. Now, what everybody is very keen on having is what will be the send screen redesigns and market detail information on tokens. What does that mean, right? So we've stolen for you these wonderful sneak peeks. This is a render, so it's not a final version. Please do keep that in mind, but you will be having additional information on your tokens rather than just having a static asset page, which you can just see the comings and the goings. We will be having a redesign for you guys. Please keep in mind, this is a sneak peek. This is not the final version, but as you can see, there will be market information based on 24 hours, 7 days, 1 month. And of course, there'll be more insights into what each asset is. So that's something that we can share in this AMA. I'm really glad. Again, engineers might be like, oh, okay, what if we don't keep exactly to this? That's absolutely fine. We are able to change things until they're live, and we continuously improve. So if you have very big opinions about what we've just shared, please do share it with us. We'll keep it in mind and we'll change it for you. That's exactly how Tangem works. So yes, David.
And I think that's a wonderful sentence, what you said. We are very, very dedicated to your feedback. We love our users, we love our customers, and we are so pleased about every email, every feedback, every topic you're bringing up to us. So if you see anything that's an improvement of life for you, that makes your working with Tangem, your ability, your experience with Tangem much better, feel free to shoot that over to us, and we love to have your feedback. So I also would love to add something to the passphrase topic, what you already said, and I think that's very important because I'm really addicted to that feature as well, and I asked for that most likely a year ago, and I know that took a little bit longer than expected, but we will be capable to have up to 50 signs for the passphrase, so not something like 8 or 10 digits, so we have 50 digits with numbers and letters, so you can really mix up your passphrase in the best way you really would love to increase your level of security for your 24 seed phrase word, additionally passphrase. And I think that's very, very important. So, Anna, if you're okay, I would love to cover over the staking topic because I think a lot of people are waiting for that. So, yeah, I know we have asked for that a long, long time, and we have announced the feature of staking already a long time, but it took longer than expected because it's pretty hard to find the right partners for that. But we're proudly that we can announce right now that we have Solana, Cosmos, Polkadot, Polygon, Cardano, Avalanche, Tron, Binance, Near, Trezor, also Cardano and Kava coming up for the staking. I have at least 4 assets where I'm so happy that I can take that away from other staking providers and do that directly on Tangem. A very, very important information on that is we're planning to have the staking live only for the main assets. No tokens below there will be possible to stake right now, but as far as I know, our developers are also working on additional topics, so definitely be prepared that we can also have maybe additional tokens underneath that main assets that you can probably stake in the future as well. So for the timeline, we said originally it is May, but right now we're looking more to June to make sure that everything is tested correctly and we're really having the right things working there. So as I said, the big priority for us is that everything's correct and we really hit the market expectations and make everything very intuitive to you and make sure. So we will also share in the future, in the next weeks, the specific timeline and also share more things about the staking method and the providers.
Brilliant. Very concise. Very good. Okay. Moving on, in which case, network releases. These are some of the things that we've announced beforehand. We've had additional announcements, and since 5.9 is just around the corner, as I've mentioned a couple of times, there's a couple of things that will be in that release from here. So in 5.9, this will be a Moonbeam ZK Sync Era, Polygon ZK EVM, Moon River, Flare, Taraxa, playable games, and of course, drumroll, base. That is coming in 5.9. Very exciting for our users. We've heard you. There was an overwhelming demand for base, and that is now going to be live in 5.9. Like I mentioned, around the corner, might be a couple of hours, might be a couple of days, but that is live and pending approval from the app stores. In terms of other things coming in the next couple of months, this is what we have planned up until June. We will be making additional announcements a little bit later, maybe towards next month, actually. We've got a lot of things on our plate right now in terms of all of the things that we have promised in the prior roadmaps. So in terms of implementation, I do like to make this a little point that is very important to understand. It's a very meticulous process. Implementation for networks and new tokens is not as simple as let's just write the code, entry, and go. There's a really good article that we do have on integration, how that works, how you can request tokens, and so on. But integration is a very complex process. It takes not just the technical requirements, but it's also just understanding what compatibilities they are. So because adaptability is key, our process is to accommodate insights from our community and, of course, bring it to you when possible. But do keep in mind, implementation is not as simple as it seems, so it does take some time. I'll link the implementation, how that happens, what the process is in the description afterwards. But if you're really keen on finding out right now, you can just search implementation Tangem. It will pop up on Google. Our SEO team is amazing. It will pop up immediately. So that's what we have in terms of networks for right now. If you would like to request something into our next releases, please, how we actually take upon your requests is we take everything into account. So if you send us something like, we want this asset, we will take that into a massive tally. We will write down who you are. So we make sure that it's not duplicates every single day. The same person is asking. So we make sure that we have the asset, what you requested on, the person, and where you asked it. And of course, at the end of the month, we all tally it up and we make decisions about what we will be taking on in the next couple of months. So that's how it works. If you would like to contribute to Tangem and making it a better product for the rest of the community, you can drop it down into Discord, Reddit. You can go to our support team via email. Anywhere you like, we will tally it up for you. We do this actually manually at the moment, just to ensure that everybody is a part of the process, not just if you already have a Tangem and so on. So that is an important part to cover. Okay, we've got a very important next bit coming up. David, you are very excited about this next part. I think we all are very excited about it, which is Tangem Ring.
The ring, the one ring to rule them all. I can tell you, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I got all the cool stuff here. So Anna really gave me all the fun stuff to tell you. And I can tell you, I mean, I was waiting for that feature a long time. And you need to know, I said a year ago in the car together with our CTO and our marketing and sales manager together, and I saw a ring on the finger, and I said, "What do you got there?" And he looked at me and said, "Well, it's a Tangem Ring." I say, "What? Stop, please help me." And he really announced that the team is working already for more than a year on the very first item of the wearable series. And I have had the chance to wear that ring right now for more than 6 months, to durable, test it, everything else. And I am stunned. This is the first part of our wearable series. We got many more coming. We got many more ideas, but let me give you a little bit more of an update. So right now, our ring is planned for the website will be launched in June. And the sale will start probably in the second half of the year. You will have the option to choose on the website what ring you would like to have, so which size. We have right now the sizes for the US between 9 and 13. There will also be very specific informations how to select the right size for your finger. And what is the ring and the cards will be. So you will have a package, 2 cards and the ring together package. So this will be one package. You cannot buy the ring independently. So this is really a package what we do. We don't know the pricing right now, but it will definitely be a premium item, a premium product. I hope you understand that. So, and here comes the really cool thing about the ring. I had stress tested it over the last 6 months. I had included it in my daily business. It is very, very hyperallergic, confirmed. So you have no topics, no problems with your skin. So, and it's made out of a very, very, very interesting material. It's made out of a composite zirconia ceramic. So that is most likely the same material where your implants of your teeth are. So you can imagine that's very durable. I had worked with the ring in the shop. I have welded with it. I have done a lot of metal work with it, and it is hard to do any scratches on that. And I can really tell you the best thing about that is, and I would love to switch back to my other camera because I really need to show that to you. By the way, we also have our Bitcoin transaction is processed. You can see that here. It's all done. I have my Bitcoin right now to the process done. And I would love to show you something different. So if I'm gonna have my hand here and try to tap my ring, it won't react. I hope you can see that. But let's imagine I take my ring off and hold into the card, to my phone. You can see there is the reaction. So even in case somebody passes by and say, "Oh, you know what? I prepared everything. Here's my phone. Just tap the ring." Nothing can happen. You need to actively take the ring off and use it. I love it. I only love it. I mean, you can sit on the sofa, you can lean back. Something happens on the market. You see Bitcoin is dropping to 60,000. Oh, well, you know what? I want to swap something very quick. And this is the key. This is a game changer. I love it so much. So most likely with the ring, very, very important to know is that we have passed a couple of issues with the production. So we really need to make sure that quality is the key, and quality is really in the right matter. So therefore, we have pushed it a little bit. Originally, we planned to offer that last year for Christmas, but right now we find the right supplier, we have the right quality, we have the right amount, and the very first batch, and please listen to me, the very first batch will be only 10,000 rings. After that, we see what we can do. We see how the acceptance on the market is, because you may recognize this is a new item. This is pretty special. And I can tell you, I mean, I couldn't wait to get that on my finger. This is the first batch, the first version with the old chip. And just to explain that maybe a little bit better, this is the ring. It's the same chip, the same microprocessor with the same EAL6 plus security rating and the same patent Samsung processor, like a card. So the same security level, everything is the same. And that's, again, I mean, you're going to see me all the time smiling. We have really stress tested that rings also from Tangem by its own, from our laboratory. We have done pressure tests, we have done pulling tests, and this is an amazing product. And I'm really happy to see the rings on the first people hands, work with that, play with that, and see what they can do. But like I said, be prepared for the website. Right now, we only have the black version. We maybe offer later different colors, maybe different designs, but this is up to the acceptance on the market. But I'm pretty sure that this will definitely rule the market. So the one ring that rules them all. And what do you think? Do we have anything to add to that?
No, I'm blown away by your passion that really comes through. I was sitting there thinking, I'm smiling too much. It will look like I'm not being authentic, but it's true when you see somebody who's really passionate about it. And it's only just the beginning, guys. We've got a patent on the whole wearable system. So while we will start with the ring, very jealous that actually David has a ring right now. I do not yet, but I can't wait to get my hands on it. Of course. It will start off as rings, but we've got the patent on the entire technology, so it can be anything going forward. Again, it is almost like a replacement for a card. It will be in a pair of 3. We will start off on 10K limited edition production, and then we will kind of go from there. So delivery will start from 28th of August from the factory, so it won't be any earlier. And then we will go from there and see what the demand is like. Again, it will be a product that has been very well teased and very interested by our community, and we can't wait to bring it to you guys. Pre-orders will be starting, as David mentioned, towards June, and the website will be live where you'll be able to order, and we will go from there. Great.
Amazing. Amazing. And I think you really brought down to the point. So it is really, we postponed it a little bit because quality was not as we expected. And we really stress tested a lot, and we understand that quality is first. I mean, really important, really truly. We have right now a little bit more than 1.2 million cards out there in the market. None of them ever get hacked. None of them ever failed. And we need to make sure that every other new product, and this is really a next milestone for us. Our team, our brilliant developers are working on that product since really a long time. And we need to make sure that you get the same quality, the same security among all the other products that we have launched so far.
Just to be clear, the quality is not in the chips; it's more in the covering for the ring. So just to make sure that that is able to be used to its full potential. So rather than it getting scratched up from going to the gym or not being able to use it in everyday life, that's where the changes came from. So we wanted to make sure that that was 100% able to be lived in. It's a live-in product that you can work with every single day, and will not scratch or become unusable. So that's the quality that we're talking about, bringing together the best of all of the world. So Tangem Ring, we've run through that. We've got a next update for our next product. Right, that will be Tangem Pay. So when it comes to Tangem Pay, we've made a couple of announcements before. So towards winter will be the first batch that is live and ready to go. Right now, we are working closely with Visa to release updates to you in terms of a press release, information on what that will all entail. Because we're working closely with Visa, it does take some time to make sure that we can share those details. We're currently in the legal and research and development stage. So while we're working through that, it does take some time. We will finally launch towards wintertime with EU and UK, the first testing places, not testing, but the first launch places that we will be able to offer it to our wonderful community and our customers. A lot of you have asked in terms of KYC requirements and so on. All of those things will be available at a later time, pending all of the information to become available. This will just require some legal frameworks to work through beforehand before we can share with you. And David, I think you had a little bit to add on that as well.
Yes, ma'am, I got. So most likely a lot of questions also from multiple communities have been raised if the already existing Tangem cards that you got, no matter if the 1.0 or the 2.0 version, if this get updated. No, this stays your wallet. The new Tangem Pay, the new Tangem Visa card will be a complete new product. You can buy that, you can get that. So we're not mixing up hardware wallet with payment solution. I hope that gets clear because I really received the question a lot of times. And I also need to announce that what Tangem is doing here with Visa together is not a we grab your crypto no matter what crypto you want to use as a payment, convert it to fiat and then send it to the person or the place you want to spend money. No. Tangem is doing it with Visa crypto directly to the person who want that. So we're not having a middleman. We're not having a bridge between there. We just do it person to person, and that is unique. That is nobody else is doing that right now on the market, and that is most likely a little bit of an explanation why it took longer than we originally explained or than we originally planned for. So that is most likely our topic for that. So, but again, feel free to ask some questions so we can cover that later. And we also got some pretty cool stuff coming up. We have new card designs. So as you have maybe seen in the past, we're doing a lot of different stuff. So we have our 1.0 card version, and we got multiple other card versions. I'm really a collector. I love to collect cards. We have chicken cock cards, we have Casper cards, we have Shiba Inu card, we have Bad Robot, we have Tron, we have oodles and doodles of different card designs. So these are branded wallets, and I really love them because this is your own brand, your favorite crypto, your favorite club, whatever. And we really support every project, every community that is asked for a branded wallet. So in terms, you say, hey, I got a project, I would love to have, for example, a unique design. Come to us, reach out to us. We're happy to provide you your unique design, what meets your requirements, no matter if it's a company or if it's a project or if it's a crypto asset, to onboard you and to also give you the option to have a really, really nice design with your own card as a limited edition. And this is also something really, really cool, what we have launched recently. In deep memories to the gentleman who paid millions of dollars in Bitcoin to 2 pizzas, we have announced our pizza special edition card. So it's available right now. It's a 3-card set. Do not get disturbed by the 2 cards on the top. So it's really a 3-card set. I have ordered for my own also 2 sets because I love the design. I love the memory of that pizza day. So that is also a really nice feature. And I can tell you, we heard feedback from the community because a lot of people are asking for other designs. So we have right now in plans additional designs like, I'm sorry, highlighter Tangem color wallets and also pastel Tangem colors. We're gonna changing our website in June that you can really pick and choose your design, what you want. Those colors you can see right now will probably come not in a black box like this one is already. The man in black and white say it's a black box. It's a black box. So these colors will come in a white labeling box most likely, as planned said right now. So we maybe change that later, but so you can definitely see that you got a different design. The really important point about that is you can really select that, like I said, on our website. And we're also thinking about multiple other colors. We also have right now the idea of the complete anonymous design in our idea, in our brain. We're working on that. We're gonna need to check a little bit with legal how much we can do, if we can really provide a card without anything on it, or if we maybe need to put something on the bottom. But this is something that we come up in the next weeks with. And we also have other topics like, for example, nice stickers and also card holders. So additional assets, what are accessories for the cards. So I think stickers is also very, very much asked thing, and we're planning to have that up in Q2 this year. So, and also the card holders will probably give you the option to safely store your cards. But I mean, like you see, it doesn't matter what you do with your cards, they can keep everything. So, and I don't know, you got anything to add to that?
I think I've got a little bit to add on these. So even though we will be redesigning the actual website, the pricing page, so you'll be able to choose sort of your pack, they will be sold in packs. So you won't be able to have, for example, 3 of the highlighters or 3 of the nice little pinkish, cute little pastel color. They will be sold in packs. So you would have 1 of the highlighters in green or yellow, depending on how you interpret that, blue, and the coral sort of pinkish orange. So that will be in 1 set, and the same for the other one as well. This is so you can differentiate the cards, make sure that each card is different, and yeah, they'll be sold as a unit. So don't get mixed up and start thinking that you'll be able to have just 3 of one. That's just the way that we have imagined it. There's nothing stopping you from having 3 of the highlighter cards if you really, really want to, because of course the cards come as a complete baseline blank. You can mix and match them as much as you like and you please. So if you want to reset your existing wallet, for example, be sure to move everything out beforehand to prevent any loss of funds. But if you want to reset them and then have a third one with a highlighter, that's also an option for you. This is for the diehard fans of Tangem who have multiple color sets. But for people who just want to have a brand new collection, this is what you can have: highlighters and pastels. And of course, as we have mentioned before, stickers will be coming and card holders. We don't have a sneak peek for you right now. This is something that came across the desk this morning and I asked, can we share this? It was a little bit too early to share, but I found a compromise. I was like, we need to show that we are working on this. So we've blurred it for now, but it is being worked on and will be a really welcome addition to users who want to have a different design for the cards. And we have had polls in the community before about, well, we really want to have anonymous cards, and that's what we will be bringing to our wonderful community. All right, then we've got one last thing in terms of the Tangem guide. We've looked into what a lot of the other, what are the markets requiring in terms of what do people ask for, what do people want to understand more about Tangem. And we realized that we don't currently have a single one overarching guide in terms of this is what Tangem is all about. So we will be launching in the second half of May a Tangem guide. It will be done on Notion for quick changes and improvements on the go. So if we have some things change, we will be updating all of that very, very quickly and efficiently. And it will have all of the information in terms of how it works and information in terms of everything from how to work with Tangem, troubleshooting. Of course, I always have to mention this since I'm from the community side, Tangem safety guides in terms of how to prevent any unfortunate scenarios happening. And of course, it will have links to videos, how to get started with both seedless and seed phrase support, since we do have both of those options. And maybe also just, outlining why we kind of advocate for a seedless option over seed phrase, but we still like to give users that option to choose for themselves. So Tangem Guide will be live in the next couple of weeks, and that will be a welcome addition to our community as well. So that's what we have in terms of the things that we have run through in terms of the good section. Next, I would like to talk about some of the things that we are actively improving upon at Tangem. We're all about having that open communication and making sure that we're keeping in mind our community and our users, and actually frankly saying, you know what, there are some things that we can improve upon. And that's what we're here to do in this AMA, is kind of share behind the scenes what we're working on and what we're improving on for you. So for example, with support, we currently have a wonderful moderation team that we brought in quite recently, actually. I think we're nearing to 2 months now, but beforehand we were able to have our support team as our priority place where you could find answers to your questions. Right now, we do have a dedicated support moderation team, apologies. We also have a support team, do not worry, there's a big team, they're all working very hard. But moderation team, we also have in community channels working 24/7, and we are improving the speed of feedback in support channels as well. In terms of logistics, we are working on improvements in the supply chain. In terms of some new developments, what we are working with, we have a new shipping specialist coming in from a very strong logistical background. We've brought in a wonderful new team member, and they will be helping improve more of our logistics and supply chain improvements. David, I think you wanted to run through some of the website improvements and what we'll be channeling there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in generally, the feedback from the community also on the website regarding languages, additional informations, etc., like you already said, regarding the guideline, what is Tangem about? That's very important for us. We're developing that continuously, and like I already mentioned that a little bit earlier, we're also trying to put the multiple options and versions what you can purchase also on the website to make sure that you can pick the set that you really would like to buy and don't probably need to dig through a lot of different pages. So that's a continuously development process, what we're implementing here, and we want to make sure that we really touch base with the community about the feedback. Also very important for us is making sure that the Wallet Connect function works very, very fine, because we see that a lot of other, let me say, interfaces with Wallet Connect does not work because of maybe lacking their update. We're right now on the latest and greatest version of Wallet Connect, but this is also something we need to improve and we really see as a improvement point. So that's also what we learned from our wonderful community. And to use your words, what's absolutely brilliant on that, because we are Tangem. Tangem is the community is Tangem. That's what I love the most. We also need to increase definitely the speed of our support. We hear that a couple of times from our valid users. That's also most likely the reason why we started additional Telegram channels in different languages. So we have right now English speaking, German speaking, what I do the lead of. We also got a new French channel coming up, or it's already live. And we also got the Russian channel. And we're also planning to put additional other languages with Telegram channels where we can give you quick and easy support. And we get in all the channels a wonderful community that are doing a great job to really help each other and make sure that all the informations are Tangem are spread out very well and to keep everybody on the safe side. So we also, like Anna said, we have the 24/7 support. So whenever you reach out to one of our channels, we make sure that you get as quick as possible a highly qualified answer to make sure that we help you as soon as possible. Yeah, I think that was everything so far.
Yeah, one thing to add as well, as I've mentioned with the website improvements, we are also going to be working on not just the pricing change, just not the pricing, what do you call it? When you choose your wallet, you'll be able to choose the type of wallet that you would like in terms of the design, but also we'll be improving the shipping estimates on our website as well. So that'll be clear and available to our users, and generally just improving logistics, as I've mentioned. In terms of team expansion, we've got new specialists in-house. A couple of things that I would like to mention that is quite interesting is we've got dedicated specialists who are focused on our Asian markets and improving both our performance in that market and just making sure that we have more presence in that market. So if you would like to have more of the community focus for that as well, please, we do have in our Discord the ability to request a certain community in your native language. We would like to bring that to you. So be sure to leave your opinion and your voice and vote for our next community expansion coming up. As well, we also have a French new ambassador. So similar like David, we also have an ambassador in our French community. And additionally, we've brought upon an AI specialist. So general improvement in the process. So for example, we're looking at right now where we can implement AI in terms of actual real world use for Tangem. So we've got a specialist coming on board. Well, they're actually working right now, doing a stellar job, by the way, but they're working right now to improve basically our entire workflow and see whether that will bring upon changes that will be very welcome. I think I've run to most things. Oh, one last thing to mention, technical questions. So we've taken on board some of the questions that our users have asked beforehand. So something a little bit more technical and you kind of want to know more about it. So for example, there's been some questions about blind signing, and we have tackled this question before and we have readily available our stance on this beforehand, but we do have a new article that will be published at some point in the future. We're very careful about it. So more of these kind of technical questions, how-tos of Tangem guides will be available. We have a wonderful addition new to our content team, so they will be publishing more content, and of course we'll be updating the blogs, and just generally the website will be just much more intuitive, and we're very happy on working things and improving them as they come along. So I think that's what we have covered right now. If you have anything else in terms of what you think would be interesting for us to take a look at, again, community channels, we're there for you 24/7. Be sure to reach out to us, and of course David is managing our wonderful German community, so we will support you in your native language. And if you want to expand and have more of your native languages available at Tangem, please be sure to leave them in our channels. Cool. All right, I think that's what we have in terms of active improvements. Let's run through the roadmap. Right, what I have on here at the moment is for the roadmap for the 5.9 release. As I have mentioned, these are the assets that will be released in the next couple of days. Now, looking forward for May and June, as I've mentioned before, this is Q2. Please keep that in mind, that this is not the final, this is not everything that we're releasing. There will be more announcements in the future. Right now, the thing that we would like to focus on is actually working through all of the promises that we have made. What's a promise without actual implementation? So to prevent ourselves taking too much on board all at the same time, we would like to work through the backlog of tasks that we have established upon ourselves and work through that. So as you can see, so the 5.9 release will contain the passphrase support and the 24C phrase support. And then towards May and June will be, as we mentioned before, changing the send screen redesign, additional language support, providers, new integrations and so on, new tokens, multi-account staking, as we have mentioned, and new on-ramp, off-ramp providers. We will be making new announcements towards May in terms of new networks that we would like to implement. Of course, we do go by your community voices, so please leave them in the proper channels and we will get through to them, of course. That's what we have for the roadmap right now. If you would like to have a particular token immediately, please make your opinion known and we will try to do our very best. But that's what we have for the roadmap in terms of the next 2 months. In the next month, we'll be able to provide more updates as we have a clearer understanding of what is coming in the next couple of months. So that's it. All right. Thank you. And in terms of community mentions, very important point. Community, we have a wonderful member who was the person who was responsible for bringing base actually quicker into Tangem. So we want to have a special thank you for Olyno. He is a wonderful person from the community who contributed to our team by writing code essentially for us to then quickly process and make sure that we can bring to Tangem base chain. So that's completely their idea and their code, and we are very grateful for community members who are very vigilant in understanding what Tangem should be implementing. And without Olyno's support, I doubt that we would be able to implement it as fast as we did. So that's all thanks to our wonderful community. In terms of some things that you should keep an eye for, we've got a safety quiz that is coming out very, very soon. The safety quiz is sort of an interactive format to understand more about how to be safe in the community channels, because of course we would like to mention there's been more and more scammers coming into the industry. Of course, we are a very interesting niche. We're a hardware crypto wallet. So unfortunately, you do have people with malicious intent coming through, and we want to educate our community about best ways to prevent anything happening. So that will be in a fun, interactive format. Additionally, we've got new Tangem helpers that have joined the team. We've finally got another wonderful member, Baikar, who's just joined officially, even though he's been helping in the community for months and months. So we're finally happy to welcome him to the Tangem helper team. And a lot of you have asked, what is the Tangem helper? These are wonderful community members who we love and we adore. Absolutely, they are the best friends of the community. And as such, we would like to give them the proper thank you and have that mention so people can see very clearly that they are very helpful to the community. And if you would like to join our helper team, we do keep in mind that you have to be very active in the community, but if you would like to join our helper team, be sure to pop me a message and we can go from there. I would like to also give a very brief shout out to Prometheus, who's been very great in Solana updates and educating the community. So thank you very much. And lastly, we've got a Tangem beta program that we will be improving upon and bringing to you in the next couple of months. Well, actually shorter probably, but please keep an eye out for that, as that will be coming up very, very soon. Cool. All right, community mentions. I think that's it. In which case, we will be wrapping up this part of the presentation and kind of go on to the part which is very fun, called the Sceptics, aka the part in which you guys actually get to ask us your questions and we can kind of go from there. We've got a lot of things that people have asked us before. So we've got a lot of questions actually in advance from different channels. We can pop them up on the screen and we can kind of go from there. David, are you ready to battle the skeptics?
Yes, ma'am. And you have talked so much, so I would be more than happy to take over the very first question that you can have a moment to breathe, Anna.
Oh, good. Yay. I'm so excited. All right. The first question that I did have popped up was actually going to be tackled by me. So let me just take one from you. How about you take this one? Tangem told me that the ring will be coming in a pack of cards. What are the chances to order the ring alone during the pre-order period?
Yeah, most likely, like I already mentioned that a little bit in our session for the ring, there is no chance to just order only the ring. We want to make sure that you have all the time a full set and that nobody can patchwork anything in. We need to control the quality. We need to control also the packing, the wrapping, etc. Here's a pretty cool fact that I maybe missed a little bit. So our wrapping and packing of the ring set and the cards together are been done by the same machines as the Apple phones are done. So you get a little bit of a premium extra in the wrapping. So that's most likely a fun fact on that. So unfortunately, no, there's no chance to order the ring separately. And also for the pre-order series, it's just a set, maybe. And here again, that is what Tangem makes so unique and so special, and that is what why I love that team. We are driven by the community. If the majority of you, ladies and gentlemen, decide and say, no, Tangem, we need the ring separately, shoot that out to us, bring that up to our attention, and we're probably going to change that. So that's the good thing about that. We are a community-driven company. We do whatever you like.
Brilliant. Good answer. I'm just scrolling through some of the questions in our live. There's a couple here, but I think the overarching theme, guys, is there's a lot of commentary. I love it. But if you want to win some merch, please send us some questions. It doesn't have to be a very difficult question. Some of them, you may just be skeptical in terms of just asking a very basic question. There's no such thing as a basic question with us. Everything is here to serve you guys. So this is why we do these kind of live streams. So if you have a question, please drop that through. We can explain everything and kind of go from there. But something that we can bring up right now is from one of our wonderful community members. This is Baikar. He's a helper. He's just joined the team in terms of being a helper, and we're very excited. So, did you shoot it to test durability? I assume that you mean, did you check the durability of the Tangem Ring and so on?
Yeah, we shot multiple times through the middle of the hole. Works perfectly fine. No, I honestly, I don't know if we really shot to it. I have a batch coming up with a new series, and I'm prepared to do some really hard durability tests with fire, with ice, with liquid oxygen, with really everything to make sure that, I mean, this ring is the same durability than also our cards. So no, we haven't shot the ring so far, but not so far. Maybe we do it. I don't know. We're gonna see. As you may have seen it, we have definitely shot the card multiple times. and really treat it very, very badly. And as you saw that, it still works. So like I said, the quality of our products and the security level of that is really top of the notch. We're ahead of everybody else. And here's another item that I really need to highlight. And a lot of people forget that. The definition of a hardware wallet is to be offline. And what could be more offline? The plastic card without any battery, without any electrics in there, except just the microprocessor. This is the most offline item that I ever saw. So yeah, I think, Anna, we're ready for the next question.
Sure. I'm just marking a couple of these down. Let's take one from the pre-planned ones, as in the ones that you guys asked in Discord. This will be very exciting. But will there ever be native NFT support? I've got wonderful news. We had this question relatively recently internally, and it was one of those questions phrased like, hey, is this actually an important feature? And all of the team piped up and we said, yes, it's a very important feature. We would like to bring it to you guys. And we're inundated with a bunch of questions, I think daily. When is NFT support coming? When is that coming? So we're very happy to announce that we have taken it upon ourselves, and we are aiming to do this around Q3. Q2, we've got a lot of things planned already. As you have just seen, we've had a wonderful presentation for 30 minutes about it. We've got plenty of things on our hands right now. But NFT support is slated to be at least looked into and given more a better timeline for you guys around Q3 for implementation. Further details will be available, of course, when they are. But for now, this has just been a question that's just been popping up so often. And every single time we've had to go, no, we don't have any insights. We don't have any information. But now we do. We will be looking into this. And that, I think, is a very important announcement for our community. So glad to have that. Shall we take another one?
Yeah. I
Great.
think the question with the zirconia and the material, that would be probably very, very important. And I love that question.
Yeah, I've got it. The Tangem Ring is made out of a sturdy material such as zirconium dioxide. Is there a piece of jewelry that can be damaged or lost? How does Tangem plan to address that risk?
So, in generally, like all the time, if you have something on you, if you lose it or get robbed or get stolen, I mean, there is no chance that we can really replace that one item. So, we really highly recommend you, if you're going to set up your Tangem wallet with the set of the ring and the 2 cards, make sure that you really set up all the 3 items. So, in terms that you lose your ring, it gets stolen, or you really find a way to damage the ring and it won't work anymore, what's really rarely, and I would love to see some pictures if you can do that. So make sure that then you can grab one of the other cards and make sure that you transfer your funds to a new set. If you haven't set it up with seed phrases, if you have set up with seed phrases, maybe reset the 2 cards, order a new set with a ring and 2 cards, and set that up by your own again. So long story short, no, there is no plan to also give you a new part of that, a new ring by its own. But like our safety features in the app with the product by its own, even in terms you lose that or the ring gets stolen, nobody can do anything with that. Even in the event that the ring gets stolen with your phone together, like you have seen that in my live presentation, without your face scan, without your PIN, you're not capable to do any transactions. And that's wonderful. So our brilliant developers really thought about every itty bitty part, what could get hacked, what could get wrong. I mean, even if I add another face to my smartphone, maybe of my wife, maybe one of my girls, my kids, the Tangem app blocks that and asks, hey, you have added a new face. Please put in your password, so your private PIN, what you set up with your cards, to declare that you are the owner. So there's no way that you can hack something, and that's really brilliant and amazing.
Very good answer. I love it when David tackles all of these hard, difficult questions, and he does it with such flair. And this is completely separate from the hat, but yes, with such flair. Okay, we've got a wonderful question coming up. I think we can both tackle this, but let me just start. This is a question. I bought a card, I assume, from a local reseller. How can I make sure that it's legit? So we have an app, which is, the Tangem app, and it is very smartly designed to be able to tell you if there is anything ever wrong with your unit that you have received. Now, an important point is that the cards, when you receive them by themselves, they're completely clean. There's no wallet on it. This is a common misconception that we do hear from time to time, which is, well, I've just received a wallet. Do I need to restore to factory settings? They are already on factory settings. If you would really like to, sure, you can set it up and you can restore to factory settings. But the thing is, you receive blank completely cards. So they will be absolutely new and ready to go. You can even get them secondhand if you really want, or if you have something from your friends and they no longer want it or something, they can give it to you, wipe it to factory settings. It will be just a card with a chip. It has no wallet information on it. Now, coming back to your exact question in terms of you have bought from a reseller, all of our resellers that are authentic in terms of they are verified working with us directly, we have them available on our website under /partnerships. So you can also apply to be a reseller. We would really greatly like to hear from you if you are a reseller or somebody who is looking into reselling with us. Please reach out to us. We will go from there. But in terms of coming back to the question, if you bought from a reseller, guaranteed authentic, but we also have never had a case of anything being inauthentic. But the Tangem app is smart enough to tell you if such an event ever can exist. So you are always going to be protected and safe and know 100% that the Tangem wallet is ready to go wherever you get it from. We had one user in the community who said something along the lines of, and generated a wonderful picture, something like, you can even buy it from a city underpass. It is that safe, that protected completely. You can buy it wherever, wipe the factory settings. It's ready to go. It's a brand new card completely for your use and disposal. So I think that's a good way to cover it. What do you think?
And I would like to add something very small. I mean, you perfectly explained that, and I thank you so much, and I really said everything. So typically during the setup process of a new set, Tangem does not have a connection to the internet. So you really don't need that. So you can put your smartphone to flight mode. There is only one point where Tangem at the very first time scans the card once and checks the serial number. And that is the only time where the Tangem app checks with the document, is that an original Tangem serial number or not? So that is also another very cool feature, what is done in the very first beginning. So we're not saving that information, so we don't know who owns what wallet. So that is just only to make sure that you have received not a fraud, not a copied product or anything else. So, but other than that, and again, you explained that perfectly.
I think this is going to very natively switch into the next question I was going to pull up. It's also a really good question that we have. David, I think you're primed perfectly with the prior answer to tackle this. Hi, Anna. I just received my Tangem card today. I forgot to turn off my airplane mode for setting up the seedless option. Does that mean my private key is exposed?
No, absolutely not. So we as Tangem take privacy at the highest level. I mean, just imagine what would happen if things like that come out. You also, if you're not sure and if you've got any experience in coding, just feel free to reach out to GitHub, download our app, and you can open sourcely take a look to the app and you can really identify if there's anything wrong. So we have already passed successfully 2 independent firmware audits on our software to make sure that there are no backdoors, nothing suspicious in there, nothing that really can maybe save anything from you. And this is something that Tangem really takes very seriously. Privacy comes first. If you're not sure, I mean, if you have a bad feeling, first of all, it's important that you have a good feeling, that you feel good with the product you got. Reset everything. Put your smartphone to plane mode, to airplane mode, whatever it is, and then set up your wallet again. I mean, it's a fun process. It takes a little bit of time, but it's so simple. So I can really recommend you give yourself a good feeling. But I can promise you, from everything that I saw, from the code, from the team over the last year that I worked together with this genius people here, there is nothing that they ever save or store about the community, about the users, and that's really important for us.
One thing to add here is that it is a common misconception that people think that you need to set up an airplane mode. So for the seed phrase, let's say that you're importing, right? Or if you're creating something from scratch, that can be done in airplane mode. Sure, you don't need to be connected to the internet, but what the internet connection is used for is for validating that the certificate is authentic, that the cards are authentic, that there's not anybody in between the process between backing up from one card to another and to another. So that's where the idea comes from. And I understand why people have that misconception. I think it's coming from a different background with other wallets and so on, where they do not have the smart backup options that we do have, especially since we offer it in seedless. So we need that certification to be available to to be connected online so we can verify and check. So that's just a tiny little tidbit just to understand more about how things work here at Tangem.
Also, maybe to add a little bit to that regarding that copy process, what you already spoken about. I mean, first of all, it's very important to understand, yes, we're copying from one card to the other by our smartphone, the private key. But here comes the very cool fact about, and not a lot of people know about that. We are using a very well-known process protocol to copy that private key called the Diffie-Hellman key exchange protocol. And that is significant. That is amazing. I mean, if I don't want to dive too deep in that rabbit hole, because probably the majority of the people don't want to hear that, but take your time, investigate a little bit in that, and you will see that there's no chance that the private key can ever get exposed to your smartphone, or your smartphone know the private key. So just as a small topic on that.
Yeah, we have an article about this called How Tangem Wallet Backs Up Your Private Key. I will drop it in the description afterwards if you want to have a perusal, or again, you can search for it right now and that will pop up for you. It's got some very smart graphics on there. It might take you a couple of reads to understand fully how it works, but it's a very smart design process, which once you wrap your head around it, you're like, oh, this makes perfect sense. Amazing. Let's continue. So that's something for you available if you want to have a read. Okay. There's a lot more questions. I've just realized that I've put through like the question of like, please ask your questions. We will take them. Where are the questions? And now they've dropped in. I'm going, oh no, we're running through with the time. We're supposed to keep this to 1 hour, but let's continue just for a little bit longer, just to understand more about our users and so on. There is a question about what specific features and attributes distinguish this particular crypto wallet card from its competitors on the market.
That's pretty simple. We make things so easy, so simple, so easy to set up that nobody else in the world, no other hardware supplier in the world can do it in the same way. We really focus on everything that counts. We focus on giving the customer, or you as our valid customer, as our valid community member, the best experience by set up your hardware wallet. I could imagine when I started doing my very first hardware wallet, it started with L and ends with Edger. So it took me days, really. I was a noob. I was not in the mood that I really understood what I do. But set up a Tangem hardware wallet. It takes you 3 minutes, and everybody can do it. If you can operate a smartphone, you can set up your hardware wallet, and you don't need to think about addresses. Everything is pre-installed. We give a very good, a very, 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 very good app where everything is on there. You don't need to add customized tokens. We have right now more than 41 main layers on our app with oodles and doodles, really thousands of different token sets. And again, what makes us so special, we are community driven. It doesn't matter if somebody comes to us and say, we offer you $500,000 that you onboard our asset on your wallet. No. We are driven by our community. If you ask for an asset, we make sure that it comes to Tangem. And this is most likely, really, to break it down, very simple, what makes us better, smarter, quicker, and more affordable also to the in comparison to all the other suppliers out there on the market.
Great. Wonderful approach. Let's take some of the other questions that we had pre-planned. 1 second, I've noted something before we've actually answered it, because I went, this is a really great question, we should answer it. And then I went, that we've already answered it, but we haven't. Okay, let's tackle this quickly. How does Tangem have a plan to make a more traditional wallet with a screen and buttons to satisfy the demand of more of the hardcore users who are unsure about the card format? A quick answer to that is, at the moment, what we have planned is our cards. We like the way that it works. We appreciate the way that it works. And I think we've tackled this question before in terms of why don't we have a screen and so on. We will be diving more into this in an article and so on, but just looking at the card format, it is impenetrable. It does not break. It is able to be taken underwater to a really high pressure environment. It can be shot at, for goodness sakes. It can withstand so many different things. And the less moving parts there is, the more durable it is as well. So while we do understand that there is a demand for a different type of product, that is something that we will maybe look into it in the future. But at the moment, if it's a traditional question in terms of, are we planning to do it right now? The answer is no. We will be developing more of our wearables line, and just that is what we have in the future plans for this year at least. Anything to add to that, or no?
No, I think that's pretty perfect. The only thing is really, I mean, 3 years from now, we would not thought that we have seed phrases on our wallet. So let's see. We're driven by the community. That's all I can say.
All right. Okay, let's run through maybe just a couple of more questions. There's just more and more coming, but let's go from there. Um, 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 um. Let's just go with this one. How flexible is Tangem in supporting new or desired blockchains that are not currently integrated in the wallet card? How flexible? We are very flexible, but that does mean that we do have to first take it into consideration, have a look at whether it is possible to be implemented. We have a full guide about this, how Tangem integration works. There's a lot of different parameters that we look into prior to making the announcement. So even though a lot of you might be requesting for a certain token, we might just not be able to take that into account right now, purely because there might be some technical limitations. But generally speaking, we are very flexible and we work on community demand. So if you have any requests, feel free to write them through and we will answer them.
We also have had a very good AMA last time with Dennis together, our developer. So he really awesomely explained what's the process, what are the pros and cons. And I mean, so just take a time, maybe take a look into that. It really explains a lot. If you, for example, have maybe a hard fork from another layer one, it's more simple. We already have implemented that layer one. But if you have something that started really from scratch with the layer one, it's very hard, I can tell you. But long story short, if you ask for it, we're more than happy to support that.
Brilliant. All right, I'm just conscious of time. We're trying to keep this to 1 hour. We're 10 minutes over. Let's wrap up. We know that we have a lot more questions to answer. If you have more questions, please drop them through into our Discord, our Reddit, and so on. Our team will be able to manage through all of those. But let's wrap up with a fun little question just for you, David. What's your favorite part about being a Tangem ambassador? I imagine making the card destruction videos were very fun. Sneak peek, you will see it at the very end of this AMA, what we're meaning behind the destruction videos. But
there is so many things I can spend hours of telling you that we have a great team. Really, we have a great team, and I really love the fact that I mentioned that a lot of times. This product is community driven. I've never seen that before. What the community asks for, it's done. I got my own community as a content creator, beside my great role as Tangem brand ambassador, and I can tell you whatever this community asks for, in generally not specifically mine, but in general the Tangem community, that is law for Tangem. And again, this is unique. I never saw that before, and that is a great goal for us. And I love that. That's what I love the best about Tangem, about being with Tangem. Sorry.
I think I'm just looking through a lot of the questions. We've got so many positive feedback, and a lot of you guys watching right now. There's so many of you live, and I wish we could tackle everything live and answer everything right now. But I'm really glad that you guys are very excited and so on. There's one user that I want to pop out right now and just say, I'm not currently a Tangem user. What are you waiting for? We've got all of the answers, all of the community. We've got wonderful people who are here to support you in your journey for Tangem as well. So come and join us. We'll be more than glad to accompany you in your journey into cold wallets. So yeah. Okay. David, I think we have to wrap up at some point.
Yes, ma'am. I think
Okay.
we're way over, and we covered a lot of stuff. Like Anna said, it is wonderful to have you all here. And I was a little bit nervous. I did a bunch of other AMAs, but this time, you maybe have seen that I was pretty nervous by just following Anna's really tight timeline, and she prepared everything so wonderful. I had spent with other big influencers another AMAs, and that was easy. But today, sit here officially with Tangem together. That is another bullet in my chamber. So I'm very happy. So Anna, thank you so much for having me today. It was a pleasure, and I'm more than happy to just take a look to maybe all the questions underneath the YouTube video once it's online or the live, and maybe I can also answer some questions in the event that somebody has some.
I can see there's a couple. It's just like, why did you not answer my question of the one on Discord? We had it noted, but there's 20 questions of just the pre-prepared ones. If we did just those, we will just not be able to cover all of them at the same time. And in terms of having these AMAs regularly, I'm also seeing some of these comments. I'll just pop it up. We have these AMAs every month, maybe even every 3 weeks. And we've been keeping to 3, roughly 4 weeks. So we have this quite regularly. Each one of them was a new guest, with a new theme, and we run through all of your questions as well. Now, in answer to your questions, anything that we didn't cover right now, we will cover. So if you had them in Discord, I will respond to you very, very soon. Do not think that we're just picking and choosing the questions. Some of these things are just, it's able to be taken live, and some of these are best approached either in blog form and you need to read through something, or we will cover it in more detail rather than just giving a quick answer. So don't worry, we will cover those. Just give us some time. One last thing, we were supposed to pick the winners. How about, do you have a special question that really popped out to you? Maybe some that you answered and you went, that's a really good question. I would really like to reward that user, or nothing that pops up right now?
Honestly, I like, did you shot the ring in question? That is funny. That's, I think this one definitely deserves a cap, in my opinion. So, and also the question from Guanjar, how flexible is Tangem in supporting new desired blockchains? I think that's also very important. I mean, you all guys and ladies did great questions, so thank you for that. And I would like to leave it up to you to select the other three. So.
Brilliant. Okay. In which case, I think what we will do is I will take the screenshots from the questions that we did ask, also keeping in mind that some of these were asked in Discord ahead of time. I'll make an announcement probably in Discord in terms of who the actual winners are. Then I'll ask you to have proof that you were the person that actually asked the question in YouTube, for example, just to make sure that we have the correct people assigned to the correct answers and we can reward the correct people. But full information will actually be in Discord, I think. I'm just doing this on the go. I just realized in the middle of the AMA that that's probably the best way to approach in terms of getting the correct rewards to the correct users. So please keep that in mind. But otherwise, I'll be sure to drop down all of the winners' information in Discord and we can go from there. So if you haven't been in our Discord, now's the perfect time to jump in over there, ask all your questions, get a good answer. And for now, I think we're going to wrap up. David, thank you so much for being on with us.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Wonderful. In which case we're going to wrap up, and we've got that wonderful video with another cowboy themed music song, which is David very lovingly destroying one of our Tangem cars just to prove how durable it is. So once again, thank you all for being here with us. I tip my cap to you, and I hope you have a wonderful day ahead. Join us for our next AMA coming up, maybe in around 3 or 4 weeks' time. Otherwise, see you in community.
Bye-bye.